In this ASMR video, I want to do a showcase of the Lenormand decks that I have. I both have, well, actually, I have more than I thought I did. Because some, I think I collected because I liked the artist. Like, I started out with a deck that I liked, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to get their other decks. I originally had all of, I put them all in order, like they're, you know, a numerical order. I originally had all of them out, but I couldn't do the screen well because what I wanted to do was actually have them all out and flip through them at the same time, but it's just not practical. So I think what I'm gonna do is show them in small sets, and we'll see, because I still don't know that there's time to do it for all. I may just maybe show like the first 5 cards or something of each deck, and so like unfortunately then you wouldn't see all of them, but maybe you get a little taste and see if it's a deck you might be interested in. Because as you know, if you've been to my channel before, one of my goals here is just to be able to introduce people to decks. Maybe they haven't seen them before, maybe they're curious about the artwork or things like that. So and if you see a deck that you want to see the whole flip through box, all of that, let me know and I'm happy to create a video with just that one. Or if you're like, oh, I want to see, you know, a couple of them, I'm happy to do that. And if I remember, oh, do they have a guidebook or a sheet, I'll do that as we're going too. But so this is the is it Wildera? Yeah, Wildera Lenormand. This is the paper Oracle Lenormand, and this is, I can't remember what it's called. I believe she is a European artist, but I'll have all the links in the description. So let's just go ahead and, like I said, maybe flip through. Or let me tell you, this one does not have a guidebook. This one has a guidebook, and it's like a true, almost like a, it's not book length, but it's like more like a book size. And Eric just put up, like if you go to his site, he now has all his guidebooks where you can do like a print on demand. So it does have a guide, like a true guidebook. This one does not, but it has a couple cards that lists the keywords. So let's just see, you know, a few of the cards. And most of these decks do have multiple men, women cards, or some of them have man, woman, people. It seems like most modern decks are pretty inclusive in that way. But if you're curious and you can't find the information about these particular decks, let me know. I'm trying to, let's see if I can make that come out a little bit. Yeah, that's a little bit better. You can see other decks off to the side, but whatever. Okay, so here we have Clover. And I've kind of pulled these out roughly in the order I got them. Like, Wildera, I think, was my very first one. I love Eric's, so I know I must have gotten that fairly early on. It probably wasn't the second. Anyway, you don't need to know all the details, but that's kind of what the order I'm going in. There's not necessarily like a real thought between which decks are like being paired here. They're not really being paired, they're just kind of coming out. So the house, the house, the house, the tree, the tree, the tree. I really like this clouds card. Did it 4 minutes? We'll see. Maybe I will go through them. There's not that many in a Lenormand deck. It's interesting to see which cards tend to be done the same. Like those snakes all were just like snakes. But Coffin has started to change a little bit, right? Like here she even called it bones instead of coffin. Now we have bouquet. Those are all just flowers. Here we have some differences. Scythe. the knife and scythe. Broom, the broom. Here she calls it rod. We have birds, the birds. I'm assuming he's going for like the movie, The Birds. It's got kind of a creepy quality to it. Then we have child. Like, see, this one's interesting. This one has, you know, a human child. This one with an egg and a nest and a little deer fawn. Fox, all showing the fox. I almost knocked something over. But here you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think that's a kitsune fox. This has got 9 tails. Bear. I'm gonna keep an eye all the time. Let's see, so we have I'm trying to decide if I want to stop or not here. We got stork, so they're all fairly storky. And so this is interesting. We have dog, but here we have the familiar, and it's actually a cat, and then dog. And so it's interesting how like some folks tweak the cards a little bit. Yeah, maybe I'll go to the people, because that's a good like natural stopping point. It is a good thing to show whether or not like how the decks decide to represent, you know, the man and woman card. So the mountain. Eric's is very evocative. Like here, it looks like Sisyphus. The mountain. Hers is always, her artwork's always really pretty, and I feel like in a way that I'd assume I wouldn't like just browns, but it actually is very beautiful. Crossroads. I love crossroads and compasses and things like that. Then we have rats instead of mice here. And the mice and mice. I like this heart card. The heart. Heart. Ring. That's cool. Like an eclipse. I love all of Eric's decks, so Eric, if you're watching, please make more decks. Because I love them. Oh my god. Alright. 27 letter. I like that how like that there's a lot going on there. And that there's different types of letters. There's written letter and like electronic. And then here's where you can see like different portrayals of feminine, masculine, man, and woman. So here we have a pretty traditional man and woman. Here we have masculine and feminine. And here we also have masculine represented by the buck and feminine represented by the deer. All right, I think that's a good place to stop. Some decks have, let's see, if any of these have like an extra card. So that one ends on a cross. Yeah, so like Eric's has some additional. He has the non-binary that you could put in, the hourglass, the cauldron, the storm, the scales, the stranger, and the wheel. And in the Wildera, it ends on the cross. All right, so first 3 decks down. The Wildera, and if I'm able to, I will show the bot. Wildera also comes, I think, with a little keyword card. I was just looking at that as I'm putting it into the box. It also has gilded edges. So again, like if you've seen my other videos, you know, it's like an ASMR ramble. So I'm, you know, showing you what some of the decks out there, you know, and when in my collection. I am going to get, there is another one that I ordered at some point and is going to come in soon, but not yet. So, but I had a few I really wanted to showcase, and so I just decided to go ahead with it. I'll try to remember to mention which one it is, because there's 2 decks in here that are part of the same, like the same artist did them. So, the Paper Oracle, so that's Eric Mayall's Lenormand deck. Comes in a tuck box, and here's the book. So there's a lot written in there. He always has good guidebooks. And doing this video makes me realize I don't want to keep all of my Lenormand in the same place, except for maybe James R. Eads decks, because I try to keep his together as much as possible. And I have them in this like leather thing that makes it hard to separate them out. These cards, if they, I think they're still available, came just like in this nice little pouch. And I got the little mini ones, but I think she makes 3 sizes. So like you can get which bigger ones. It's been a long time. Like I said, I think I got that like years ago. Okay. Let's do, this one's called, here, I'll just turn them over. Luminescent Lenormand. Then we have, I'll do James R. Eads, the Green Glyphs. Lenormand. I hate when I can't pronounce things right. And then I just keep like pronouncing them poorly in different ways. And then I will do the Terra Lenormand by, is it Boucher Design? All right, so we have the writer, and the writer. Let's get in the focus just a little bit more. Because like you see in my discard pile doesn't really matter so much. So this is again one that's interesting because most of the decks start with either a horse or the equivalent, like, I'm not showing this one yet, but like, here's a deck where it's not a horse, it's like an ant, but it's the same idea. Whereas there's others, like, and this one where it looks like the bird is holding up a leaf maybe with the butterfly on it. So there's different sort of like non-traditional writers. All right, so we've got writer. Push this out of the way. Don't want to knock my setup down. I'm not very, knocking things over. All right, then we have Clover. You can see they're mostly pretty like straightforward depictions of clovers. Hers so far with these 3 is the most unique, I guess. But see, in house we're getting some different types of homes. Tree, very stylized. Her decks are always interesting because they're kind of like, or at least the ones I have, are a combination of like stylized and ethereal. And so clouds, this is interesting too. They're very like much more amorphous. I still really like that clouds one that was like, looked like a huge storm rolling across the prairie. Snake, it seems like Snake's one of those cards. Looking at the 6 of these decks so far, that gets a fairly straightforward treatment. Beautiful coffin. Cute yet creepy little skulls. what is kind of cool about, I haven't really worked, like if I'm bad at tarot, Lenormand, don't even get me started. But one thing I do like is how simple the images are, and people can make their deck sort of as simple or as complicated, but there's at least that object is basically in there somewhere, or some variation. So here's whip. Then we have birds. Again, the sort of more stylized. These little small buddies. And it's also interesting to see how people do the correspondences with the actual cards. Child. I love foxes, so it's always fun to get to the fox. Fox. Bear. Stars. It's also interesting. People decide to put stars versus like the stars. Like this one does a lot of the stork. I think I like this one best in these three. It's like my favorite is different for each. Like it's a cute, but like silly little dog. I think with this one I either like this or this one. There's very different art styles. Tower. Because like this one almost looks more like a home. I mean, I see the tower there, but I'd almost, well, I guess it is castle, but it reminds me more of a home. And then this one has like the Eiffel Tower. Then we have garden. This feels very James Art. Mountain. Seems like mountains often pretty a straightforward depiction. Crossroads. And this one's very different. It's cool. It's like looking under, what do you call it? Why do I forget words so easy? Magnifying glass. But like, looking down into the world and seeing that's cool. Like this one's a more straightforward kind of cross in the roads, or crossroads. Nice. I hate actual hearts, so that one disgusts me. I don't want to look at it. I like this version of the ring. It reminds me of my wedding ring. My wedding ring, so it's silver, but it's not, you know, like it doesn't have a stone. But it's got cool snakes on it. I can't know if you can see it. It's got like a Celtic, whatever. I don't know why I'm showing you my wedding ring. Book. So we are almost to the people. Letter. Oh, that's cool. It's one of his, I can't remember what you call it, but. So here we have this, in her deck she calls Maille. And here he has the gentleman, the lady, and the person. And has that as 28, and then the gentleman, the lady, and the person is 29. This deck has the gentleman and the lady. And she has male and female. So you can see that it's often done different. And then let's see. We got cross. Okay, he ends at cross. I was trying to see if any of these have sort of extra. She ends at cross. And she also ends at cross. So all of these are, I think, the traditional 36, even if they have, what do we call it, more additional, like, more cards from, like, for different genders and things. But they don't have, they they still number those, you know, as like the number. The luminescent one comes in this box and it's buried, but the book for it is kind of like Eric Neal's book for the paper book. It's about that size. It's a little sturdier in terms of the binding, because it's thicker. I think it was printed on sturdier. So, you know, if you're someone who really wants a guidebook, I mean, I don't think they go into like crazy intense detail or something, but you know, but if you want sort of an all-in-one shop. Green Glyph, I forgot to show the other one, but Green Glyph is gilded, and the reason I will probably keep it, I may just keep all of Green Glyph with my Lenormand deck, because I have it in there. You know, there are 4 ones in the one box. And he has a big guidebook. I'm not pulling that out either. Boucher has like reference cards and no gilding. At least the version I have. She may have a different, there may be a different edition. I'm not sure. I got it a couple years ago, and mine's in a tech box. Oh, deck collecting. I'm sorry. I know in many ways I use my cards, but I'm also just such a deck goblin. Like, I really do just really love collecting. Alright, so next I'm going to, I guess I am kind of going in like order of when I got them. So next, these I think are all decks by Faina, Lorah. And I think she might have stopped selling decks. I'm not sure. I'll look and see, you know, when I post this and put it in the description. So these are the 3 decks. I started with this one, which is the Slavic Folklore. And then this is the Yuletide Tales. And this is the Nocturnal Garden. And I started with the Slavic Folklore. One, the art just really grabbed me. I mean, really grabbed me. But I also really love like Russian literature, Russian folk tales. And I studied the language. I haven't for the past few years just because my life exploded and I don't have the mental energy for that, but I would like to get back to it at some point. So here, again, we have person on horse. Now, here's where we get a little different. So, a witchy on a broom, and here we have a cat on a broom. We have rider, the knight. So some people are doing the knight. What I do like about this deck, beyond like, obviously I like the Slavic, I like the, I think the pictures are some of the most unique of the ones I have, and I just really like the color schemes, is also that there's keywords at the bottom. So for someone like me who can't remember Jack, it's really nice. I don't know if I like the card backs as much. The little skulls on the back of the dragonflies, but, and so this is technically like a Christmas themed deck. Clover. But you can see, so these are all by the same artist. And this one I'm almost going to bring up each time just because there's a lot of, well, I guess you can see pretty well, but here's ship in a bottle. In this case, because it's Christmas, so it's sleigh. And then the ship, and it's, I don't remember this, but it's probably from a folktale. This is Baba Yaga. I do know that. So we have house. So you can see in like these, it's like a, looks like a gingerbread house. This is Baba Yaga's hut. It's called the house. Does this have moon faces in it? It does. Okay, tree. That's kind of cool. I like the feel. I was gonna say, I kind of like seeing these 3 texts together because of their, since they're all by the same person. So in this case, you can kind of see like one person and they're different. How their styles are, how their style in each deck is similar. Like, especially between these two, if you were like, if you put out a bunch of decks and were like, who made these? You'd probably guess the same artist here. I feel like I might get tripped up between those. Snake. So here's a case for like pretty straightforward depiction. Both of these have snakes in them, but they are, you know, part of a scene. Here we have the grave or coffin, and they start to look a little different too. And again, these are coming from Folklore, and she does have a small booklet. I think each of these does. Yeah, each of them comes with a booklet. So if you have any of her or want any of her decks, they all come with a small booklet. Bouquet, bouquet, bouquet. Scythe, scythe. This is the rebirth. I think this is Koshi the Deathless, but I'm not sure. I'm trying to show off my Slavic knowledge. I don't know that much, but I know a tiny bit. Whip, whip. And here we got the club. That's Baba Yaga. She rides a mortar and pestle. Birds. Lined up birds. Cardinal on top of bell. Firebird. This is the bird, but I believe in Russian folktales there's a firebird. Then we have child. So in this case we've just got the little crib. Child. Looks like a little toy. This child looks possessed, so we're gonna put her down there. This is interesting too, how none of her foxes are like just like straight up foxes, like they all have clothes. Then we have bear. Same here. Each bear is kind of unique and is like more person-like. I really like the backs of the Yuletide. Like, that might be one of my favorite backs so far. Star. Star. The stars. Like I said, this one of the three is my favorite. As you're watching, if any of these, again, like I said, strike your fancy and you want to see like a whole walkthrough or more with the guidebook and things like that, let me know. Also, as people say, drop it in the comments if you have like a favorite deck that you see. This is goat, and here she calls it the Herald. It's obviously not a goat, that's a cat. Dog, wolf, and the wolf. That's, I think her name's like Princess Vasilisa or something. I don't remember. She rides a wolf at some point. I think when she's like trying to trick Koshi, if I remember. I mean, this is again Baba Yaga's hut, so she's using it for tower in this deck. Tower. And she has a big book, I believe, with the Yuletide tales, and actually a big book for this deck too, I believe. The tower. That's neat. Garden. I'll try to, we're already at 30 minutes, so let me try to pick up the pace a little bit. Mountain. 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 Paths. Paths. The crossroad. So she's kind of renamed the crossroad in her other decks. Mice. Mouse. A rodent. I like him. He's like a little steampunk rodent. Then we have Heart. I like that. A Matryoshka doll. That's cute too. Heart. I like that. I don't like that as much. I like some like skull, like cute skulls, and then there's skeletons that are like, I don't like that, which is like a rib cage. Ring. And that's just because I don't know. Creeps me out. But skeletons, in general, kind of cool. It's always kind of creepy to think we all have them in our bodies. I feel weird saying that. Like I'm a child or something, but it creeps me out whenever you see, like, I was watching a Buffy the Vampire Slayer earlier, and there was a skeleton in this episode, and I was like, I turned over to my husband, I was like, we both have one of those inside of us. And he just looked at me like, what are you talking about? But it's true, there's something weird about it. Letter. I mean, right, I can't be the only one who just, I know I'm not the only one who feels that way. But it's like, it's kind of like when you look at the moon, and you're like, why is there just fucking rock up in the sky? Like, what the hell is it doing up there? And no, I'm not on some mind-altering substance. It's just like, what? Okay, so here we got man, the man. In this case, I think, again, this might be Koshi, the Deathless, but I'm not sure. And then she has woman, and lady. All right, and then let's see, are there any extra cards? Cross, and cross. So hers, just have the traditional man, woman, and then also end, you see, I think they all are ungilded. Just one by me. I don't mind, but just wanted to let you know in case that's something that matters to you, or that you'd want to think about. Oh, you know, if you're guilting it yourself. Oh, this one does. I always think that's kind of cool. I think I'd be afraid to like mess them up. This one has like a sort of a matte kind of gold. So those are Faina Lorah's decks, and so like that one I just showed you comes in this little, like a bigger kind of box. Not huge, because again, the Lenormand cards aren't huge. But yeah, and so next I think, so these are all the ones you've seen so far are ones that I think I've had. I think all 9 of these are ones that I've had, if not. I mean, they're all since I moved to Missouri. But some were before I moved to our current location. And others are fairly recent. Because one of the things I do want to do this year, again, because like, I use decks, but I also like them for their artwork. And then the goblins sometimes just takes over anyway. But even when the goblins goblining, it's goblining for the artwork. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, I like that. It's pretty, shiny. But I'd like to, you know, pay more attention to the decks that are out there that are Lenormand decks, because it seems like more are coming out. There's one on Kickstarter right now that has, one of the cards has been made by or drawn by the artist of the boat and tarot. I think it's called the Cherry. So it's in my, you can find it in my Kickstarter videos, or just go on Kickstarter. But anyway, yeah, so one of my, you know, sort of like collection focuses or whatever, foci, is Lenormand. All right, so trying to see, because I have two decks that are like 2 versions of the same deck, like a sort of a dark and a light. So I think I might do those alongside another one. Oh, I should have turned these over. I have them upside down. So these are, this is these both come with a booklet, and these are the Sleepwalkers. This is the Sleepwalkers Lenormand. There's a kind of like a night edition. I think they call it a Sweet Dream edition, and one's Nightmare. Obviously the Nightmare one's and so like here's the box for the Dream one and the box for the Nightmare one. The other deck that I should be getting in is I think by the same artist, and it's I think it's called the Blood. Is it the Blood? It's the Blood something. And that one also had 2 editions, but it looked like the edition difference was just the box and backs. It wasn't actually like, and like one had a border and one didn't. So it wasn't actually like the coloring or anything like that was any different. So I just ordered the one. All right. So let's put those there, and I think as my 3rd one, so they're gonna these next sets are very colorful, very like modern, I guess, looking, more scenes and things like that. So this one is it comes with a little guidebook. For those of us in the Midwest, it's called Turned Earth, and it's focused on the Midwest. It says in the fresh turned Midwest soil, etc., etc., etc. So begins the narrative of this Midwest Lenormand. So, all right. So let's turn these over and start. So we've got Knight, the Writer, and Knight. And I don't know the history behind the Knight and the Writer. I'm assuming Knight came first because of like playing cards, maybe? I don't know. You guys probably know more than I do. Or not probably, you guys do know more than I do. And I'm guessing maybe the Writer as the title kind of a card changed is what changed. But anyway. So you can see like with these, like it's very similar, but there is difference in terms of both the color as well as the imagery. I think some are pretty similar. This is kind of cool. The truck with the horse and the bed. But see, like those, they're different but the same, very similar. So Clover. So compared to like the other decks I've shown, these are obviously like, the Clover's the closest one, I think. That seems like it's pretty straightforward, but even there, like, you know, he has it on, like, carved into wood under like a horseshoe. So ship, but these are much more, these 3 are like really vibrant colors. Well, I say that just as I turn to a card that's like all black, white, and green. So the house, the scary house. That's beautiful. A tree. I'm also getting in, there's a tarot deck that goes with this, and I am going to be getting that as well. Like I said, enemy hog, goblin, dragon, whatever you want to call it. The clouds. I still think my favorite clouds is still that one from that, that one, that tiny deck I showed where it was like dark clouds coming in. Snake, that's a pretty snake. Actually, I like both of those. I think these might be my favorite snake cards so far in all of the decks. Coffin, bouquet, and these ones and the next ones I'm showing you are all pretty new to me, so like I haven't had a chance to spend a lot of time, you know, looking at the cards, because like the other ones I showed you, even if I haven't used them, because I haven't really used Lenormand cards much at all. Oh, I should not stop doing this. I've at least sort of just like enjoyed just flipping through. So birds. So you can see, like, I do think that I get sort of frustrated when people make multiple versions, because I'm like, I mean, I'm sure there's many reasons. One, people are more likely to get excited and buy both. So financially, I'm guessing works. Sometimes I imagine there's also like person may want to, you know, also have a couple different ways they want to envision something. But what's interesting is, wait, where was I going with that? I don't remember. I think I was trying to say like I actually do like that these are like the same deck, but like different sort of variations on the theme. And again, some like this are much more similar, and then some are more different. You'll see in another, and I got those I think from Vermilion. There's another deck group that I'll show in a minute from Vermilion that is similar, but what's kind of cool is they've made a lenticular version, so you could get either like the dark, the light, the lenticular, or all of them, or two of them, or whatever. And so what's kind of cool is like some of the cards are the same, but like with sort of a different color scheme. But some it's like the creatures inside the house versus outside the house, things like that. That like lenticular actually works real well with. I just have one, the James or Eads one, and I like that because it puts Cosmic Visions and Prism Visions back to back, so you can see like the correspondence. But I don't trust lenticular, like I don't trust it to hold up, and I'd be nervous to use it. So that's why I decided in this later deck I'm going to show you to just do the light and the dark. So here's call it a rat instead of mice. And let's see, what was that? They both had skulls. Heart. Ring. That one's fairly straightforward. Looks like in all of them. Book. It's interesting. Like I said, it's interesting which cards tend to invite more variety than others. Letter. Letter, and now we've got two people. So here we've got man. Oh, and I think I've got the men mixed up because there's like angel men, and as you can even see, like with these decks, they're also like, remember, right, sort of the man and the woman cards aren't. They're not necessarily like super masculine or super, you know, like there's some. I mean, this one pink, right? Like this one, I mean, could be red. I feel like there's some that can be red, like, you know, male at birth, cis man, cis woman, woman at birth, you know, like, and there's other texts where it's very straightforward and or like straightforward. I guess it is straightforward, you know, it's sort of like, okay, this is a man card, this is a woman card. Doesn't mean you have to, as a woman, identify with the woman card, but that they're sort of like the strict, like, okay, this is Lenormand, blah, blah, blah. And some take, like, I think these two decks are good at doing more of a variety. See, like this one's this man and lady, but on this other one, there were two men cards. I like this guy, he looks like Harry Potter. And then these are the woman cards. But see, like, she's turned around, so, you know, some of the, like, secondary sexual characteristics or things like that you'd be like, well, that has to be, you know, a woman. Oh, this one says 3. Wow. Cool. All right. So, let's see. I do believe... So this one doesn't have extra, the Midwest one, the Turned Earth. This one I think does. I think this might be... There's a couple decks I've seen lately that say you can use them with the Rana system, and I'm not sure what that is. But this one has some I think they have names. Here, I'll just show you. So there's let's take these so we can take them off. Release. Get all the way down to the cross. Angular cross. All right. Let me look at the book for this and just see. 37. If these have been given names. They have not. They are just sort of, I guess, extra cards to do with as you will. Unless there's something, I don't know. So this one, like I said, has these extra. And maybe that's the Rana system, because I have seen in other decks where they talk about bed. So maybe that is the, and these just for some reason don't have them named. All right. So these were the Sleepwalkers. Lenormand, one of them is the Sweet Dreams, and that's this one that has pink. And the other one's Nightmare. I was about to apologize for this being a long video, but you know what? I'm showcasing like 15 decks or something. And again, hopefully, if you just came to check out some decks, you've been able to just kind of jump around to get a sense of what's out there. And if you're here for the Ramble, hello, hello. This one has kind of a silver iridescent. That's that Sleepwalkers Nightmare version. I really want to keep those out. I really want to play around with them, as well as the. Let's see what the next. I think the next one I may try to fit them all in. There's 4, and I may try. Oh, scheisse. I may try to. I don't know why sometimes I say shit in German. I'm not German in any way. I think I had like someone in my family used to say it. But like I don't even know the word for shit in Russian. A language which I have spent lots of time trying to learn. But for some reason, alright. So the next one's another one I got from Vermilion. And I really like it, and I'm excited to work with it. This is the one that I was saying. There's a, it's also another one where there's sort of like a day and a night version. So this is the night back. This is the day back. The Sweet Dream, the Sleepwalkers came more with a like fold-out booklet, whereas this one's the Glimmer Walker, and I believe the book's the same in both. Let's see. Yeah. And so these have like slight variations, but they're not exact. And this one, the Glimmer also is like Chinese and English. Don't think the Sleepwalkers had Chinese. But anyway, if you want to see those more in depth, I can do it. That has the booklets and stuff. Okay, so I have 4 decks. I have these 2, and you're just gonna have to deal with the floor. I do this I'm actually on the floor, so it's where all of my videos are done. I just sit here cross-legged, crisscross applesauce. This is the primitive Lenormand, and then this is the, they call it, or I don't know why some people call them this. This is the Black Cat's Oracle card, but it's actually also a Lenormand. So let's get started. So this one's the one that comes in also a lenticular version where it combines both of these, and you'll see why. And there's at least one, and I can remember by memory that it was cool that it flipped between them. So So like with the Glimmer Walker, there's always like a little character. And the reason I also bought both versions of that deck is there were like some color schemes that just really, like, cards that I'm like, oh, like, I really prefer this one. But then there's other ones, like nighttime cards, that I preferred over those. And again, since part of, I think part of the reason things like that do matter, may not be the right word, but you know, in climbing one way or the other to purchase or not purchase, is that part of what I really love about oracle cards, tarot cards, and Lenormand, all those, is the visual, because I am not visually gifted. Like, as an artist, like, I'm not a visually gifted artist. And it's just so, I just like beautiful things. Sorry. This one was cool. I liked it. It's like very like anime style. And then this one I just thought cool. Like, I like cats and stuff. So we've got Rider. This one I'll put like that. See, we got our little person there. So like you can see, those are basically the same. So a lot of these are the same, between those two. There's Clover, I like the cat playing with it. And he's in all of them. Like, here you see he's there. We've got Clover here. It's funny, I just mentioned a cat, and then my cat starts to cry. As soon as I'm done with this video, I'll go out with her. Ship. 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 This is the one that I can see why people would enjoy the lenticular version. So you can see during the day, the doors close and they're in the window, and at night, the window, they're actually in the doorway. So like, you know, on the lenticular, when you're doing that, you would go back and forth. So I just thought that was kind of cool. Just something to point out if you end up being interested in this deck. You know, you're trying to decide if you like what you like. Wait. Oh, yeah, first I did the house for the, see in here. Oh my goodness. A poor little kitty. He's crying her eyes out. Tree. 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 Clouds. There's their clouds. 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 Snake. See, like, the snake kind of fades into the background there where you can really see their eyes. I like, she's like friends with the snakes. These are very evocative. I like the manga style, I guess, the anime style. Because it's more sort of tells a story. It makes me, I don't have the manga tarot, but it makes me want to look and see, like, are they made by the same person? Coffin. 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 Bouquet. 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 Like, I'm sitting in the, then we have the scythe. I guess I don't have to say scythe 4 times. This is the whips. This one they call whips, I think, because there's multiple, you know, it's like plants. Why can't I think of word? Vines. That's what I'm looking for. Birds. So you can see again, like, the card, I think I already said this. Child. The 4 in this later series, and then the last 3 also showed fox. They're a lot more, we'll Some of them are a lot more vibrant in terms of color, but they're also very, like, there's a lot going on. These tricksy. Fox. Bear. Where's my card 15? Am I missing 15? Oh, no, I had it out of order. Bear likes his cat friend. Strong. Stars. I like that card. Stork. So in this one, the little buddy's flying with them, and in this one, he's been carried. Dog. Tower. That's neat. Tower. I do like how it basically looks like a card, like a playing card. 20. I don't think I can ever get into, I do have some different card decks, but I've never, like, intentionally started trying to collect card decks. I think I would be in, like, debtor's prison or something. Because there's just so many. It's like, if I think there's so many Tarot and Oracle decks out there, like, people are making some really cool, just regular card decks. And I do like physical cards. Like, I like playing cards. Like, actually using the playing cards. Okay, we're at Crossroad. See, again, like, this one's more different than some of the others. And you can see, too, like, even the parts that aren't different. To me, like, again, I like this daytime version. But the color schemes are significantly different in those two. And then we have mice. Cart. I like these. These are cool. That's also gonna be gross. I'm turning you over right now. Sorry. This one might be my favorite. And these are cool. Okay. Oh, sorry. Ring. Door. I mean, where did I get door? Book. Apparently, I can't read the list of things that I can't do. Letter. Okay, and here again we get to our gender cards, or not gender, depending on it. So this deck has multiple man cards. Are there 2 or 3? There's 2. This one also has, yeah, and doesn't name them as man and woman. This one just has the male and female, but the way they've done it, there's not necessarily, like, it says man and woman, but that could just as easily be a woman and a man. So here are the 2 male cards there. And you can see, like, there's the face, the face, the face, the face. These ones are actually very similar. I think I did that wrong. Well, I don't know that there's right or wrong. And then again, we have 2 women cards. So you can see again, that one's very similar. these are actually really similar too. This is a little more different. So again, these are good decks, like if you're wanting some variety and some choices in terms of representation. And then let's see, I think these have those extra cards and might actually have more than just, so after cross, let's see if this one ends at cross. Yeah, so this one ends at cross. And then we'll pull out that Sleepwalkers and hold it beside, because that may actually be that Rana system. I think it is actually, because here's from that Sleepwalkers. It seems like they're all about spirit. I like that card. Yeah, incense burner, incense burner, incense, or like, yeah, incense burner. Yeah, so I need to learn more about this, because this is clearly, I know it said Rana system, but I was like, I don't know what that means. But I need to look and see. Then bed, 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 and then market. And this I can see them, they're exchanging, it's like exchanging coins, or exchanging something. It's a market. You're exchanging things. And market. And then in these stacks, there's Celestial Arc and Walker. You know, it's sort of part of the story of that guy. And then this is back to the, what do you call it? The Sleepwalker. But these are, there's two blessing cards. Oh no, sorry, not Sleepwalker, I'm sorry. This is the primitive Lenormand. So there's blessing, there's two blessing cards. And that's it. That is all my guys, or gals, or non-gendered cards. I can't find my box now. So hopefully, this is definitely a weird video. Though, again, if you're watching the whole thing, I'm going to correct myself there. This is it's not a weird video, it's just my video. You're here if you're here, you're not if you're not. If you're here, I hope you're enjoying it. If you're not enjoying it, I hope you're not here. So, yeah. Hopefully, maybe you've seen a deck you've never seen before that's intrigued you. I'm going to put the links in the description. If the creator's shop's no longer there, because I think Faina Lorah's may not be. I'll try to find if there's a link to, like, I don't know, does she have a homepage, or I think she might have an Instagram, something like that, where you can at least, like, oh, this is the you know, like, maybe you want to message a creator and be like, are you gonna reprint your deck, or something like that. And like I said before, if you want to see any of these decks in more detail, so again, like seeing the entire deck, seeing the guidebooks with them, seeing them put into practice. Like I said, if I'm bad at tarot, or if I'm a novice at tarot, I'm like not at 0 with Lenormand, but like 0.1. Yeah. So again, like I said, hope you enjoyed that. I am hoping, like I said, to collect. Oh, I was gonna tell you, this primitive Lenormand also comes with this little cute little book. Oh, and here was that luminescence book I was mentioning earlier that I didn't get to show you. That one. I do want to, you know, focus some collection in this direction. Also, because I have collected so many Oracle and Tarot There's more out, and there's more. It seems like there's more of these decks out there than there were even like a few years ago. Like when I got that Wildera, I remember like being on Etsy for like hours trying to find a deck that like spoke to me at all, and it was like the only one. And now I can find a lot more things that speak to me. Especially like I found like the stuff on Vermilion I've actually been enjoying. But anyway, I guess I will end. Sometimes it's hard to find a way to wrap up. Thank you for being here. It's a good way to wrap up. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching, subscribing, commenting, liking, whatever you're doing or not doing. And I hope you're having a good day, good evening, good night, good everything. And I hope to see you soon.